Brian Peters here with you for your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, March the 10th. And believe it or not, it looks like while we're only just getting into spring, it looks like we're headed for summer. Before I forget it, don't forget to set your clocks ahead tonight. At 2 a.m., we suddenly become 3 a.m. as we start daylight savings time. There's a look at the view from our Skycam, our Alpha Skycam network from Mount Cheehaw. Beautiful, beautiful morning. And then another beautiful shot, although the river running a bit full as a result of the rain that we've had over the last little while. On the surface map this morning, high pressure centered over Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia is making its influence felt and has pushed the front that came through and brought us about an inch of rain. It's keeping it down along the Gulf Coast with much of the rainfall activity occurring across Texas and Louisiana. In the upper atmosphere, we have a closed low out over or just south of the Four Corners area. That will be kicking out, and as it does, it drags a front into the area. But in the meantime, we're fairly mild across the country. The only really cold air showing up across the vast United States is actually in eastern Canada, where they've got some pretty chilly values. A little bit chilly this morning across central Alabama as we dip back to the upper 30s, but I think we'll see quite a warming trend. And rain-wise, it looks like much of the rain holds off for us, although you'll see in a moment that we're going to get into a bit of a summer-like weather pattern. Storm Prediction Center outlooking a slight risk for parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas on day 2. That would be Sunday into early Monday. The 06Z GFS model run, and here is the forecast upper air chart for Sunday at midday, 18Z, which on Sunday will be 1 o'clock, not noon, because we have daylight savings time. You can see the closed low coming out across Kansas and Nebraska, and as it does, of course, it'll be bringing a bit of a low-pressure area across the Central Plains and bringing rain across Arkansas and Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma. That moves fairly quickly into the western Great Lakes, and as it does, of course, it will drag a front into the southeastern United States. So it looks like, while I think for the better part of probably Sunday will be dry, but it looks like probably into Monday we begin to see the possibility of some rain. And this is probably going to be our best shot at some rain because we'll at least have some frontal forcing to go with the moisture that we have in place across the area. The European in pretty good agreement, maybe just a tad more aggressive in the amounts of rain and the coverage, but certainly pretty good agreement. It's always nice to see the models when they're agreeing with one another. The little open trough moves across the central Great Lakes on Tuesday, but notice that we're basically kind of under a ridge. So the front stays in the area Tuesday, but we're seeing the forcing as a result of that front diminishing, so the rain chances pretty much end on Tuesday, I think. That is the significant rain chances, but we're going to stay in a pattern. As you see, by Wednesday, we're under a bit of a ridge. We're going to stay in a pattern that will allow diurnal heating to produce some isolated showers. And I think for the most part, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, we're probably going to be dry, but you can't rule out the possibility in this pattern that we'll see some isolated showers. By the time we get to Thursday, of course, the ridge is getting a little bit stronger as that trough has moved on out into the Atlantic. By Friday, you can see the ridge really building up across the East Coast. So, man, talk about warm. As a matter of fact, I'm forecasting 79 for, Wednesday or Thursday and Friday, but it's very likely we may be pushing into the lower 80s with this kind of pattern. We'll have to be watching that. Saturday, we stay under the ridge, and of course, we're watching action out to our west, and you can see there's a couple of little weak disturbances, one over southeastern Oklahoma, one over Iowa, and those may be responsible for some precipitation and perhaps a frontal system out to our west, but it looks like that won't be impacting us directly, and you can see the GFS not forecasting a great deal of precipitation for us. So it looks like we're kind of coming under a summer weather pattern. Now, going out into voodoo country, wow, that ridge really builds up. Look at that ridge. Man alive, building up. That looks more like almost like a summertime ridge, doesn't it? And this is Monday the 19th, so certainly no cold air for us. At least at that time. Now, that big trough does come out, and that should produce another round of wet weather possibly around the 22nd, Thursday. And then we still have the ridge with us as we head into the latter part of March around the 25th. So certainly looking to be a warm and somewhat, continued possibilities of showers every 3 days or so. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. Expect to have the next one posted by about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. Remember, don't forget to set those clocks back. Set those clocks ahead tonight. If you set them back, you'll really be late. Have a great day and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.